All right, everybody, welcome to the first lesson of the Fundamentals of Python section. In this section, we're going to be talking about the syntax of Python, or what you could just think of as the way that Python needs to be written so that it can run properly. Python has different rules and different syntax, what we call it, as to how you have to write your code and how the code needs to be structured so that it runs and it knows exactly what it's running, what it's doing. So that's what this first lesson is going to be focused on, the actual syntax. So go ahead and just open up a Jupyter notebook. Just a reminder, the easiest way to do that is to just come into the Anaconda Navigator and click Launch. I've already done that, so I'm not going to do it right now. But if you click Launch, it'll open up your terminal for you, and then it'll open it up, and you're ready to rock and roll. So you can just go into that file that we created earlier. Just go into the football Python course. If you want to create files to kind of organize it, kind of how the course is structured, you can, or you can just come up here, click New, and then click New Notebook, and we are now, select your kernel if it wants you to do that, and we are now in the actual code, and we are ready to start coding. So to start off the syntax discussion, in Python there is a rule of indentation. So indentation means that basically we need to have 4 spaces or a tab of indentation when we are running certain code. So for example, if we do if 10 is greater than 7, we have to have an indentation. The nice thing is most Python and Jupyter notebooks are going to recognize this and just do it for you. But if it doesn't, you can just hit tab if you are really crazy, you can do 4 spaces like that. And then you can just run a simple print statement saying 10 is greater than 7 or 8, whatever. 7, just like that. Make sure your code's correct. And then it runs, okay? So that's the output of your actual code. But what would happen if we didn't actually have that indentation? If I run it like this, it gives me an error, right? It says expected an indented block after if statement. So there's certain times that you have to have an indented block, and an if statement is one of them when you define functions, which we'll talk about later. So just know that the indentation and syntax for Python is 4 spaces or a tab. The next thing to know about Python syntax is how we can write comments in our code. So a comment is basically just when you want to write whatever you want to write and have the Python interpreter not use that as code, okay? It's going to know that, hey, this isn't code, so it can literally be whatever it wants. So for a single line, you can just do a $sign or a hashtag, whatever you want to call it, and then you can just type whatever you want, just like this is a comment. And then if we print the word hello like that, you can see that the actual word hello is just printed and it didn't do anything for, this is a comment section right here. You can also do multi-line comments. So if you do 3 quotes, it doesn't matter if they're single quotes or double quotes. So you can do 3 quotes and then you can type really whatever you want. So this is a multi-line comment. I can write as much as I want. And then it's not going to execute. You can also do something like this. You can do like you can do this. That's just not, if you're going to do multi-line comments, that's not recommended because it just doesn't look as good. You might as well just use the multi-line comment. And then if we just say print hello at the end, so if we say print hello, then it only prints hello. It doesn't use any of this as code. That is all just the comments that we're adding. The last part that you're going to need to know about Python syntax and kind of the important thing when working with Python is importing packages. So if you remember, we installed all of the packages in those requirement.txt. So how we actually use those is through imports. So for example, if I want to use a package called JSON, which allows us to work with JSON files and JSON data, I can just say import JSON. So that's going to import the package that is called JSON. So you can just run that by hitting Shift, Enter, hit play if you want to run just that. So that's how you can just import JSON. You can also rename packages. to be like shorter if they're long. For example, a common one that we'll use is when we're using the pandas package. So if you say import pandas as PD, so we're importing the pandas package, which pandas is used for data wrangling, data manipulation, data exploration, data cleaning, right? Everything data. We're going to use it a ton in this course. But basically what we're doing is we're importing pandas, and then we're just saying, but every time we type PD, that is going to refer to the pandas package. Okay, so we're just kind of giving it an alias, a nickname, whatever you want to call it. And then another part of using packages is all the packages actually have little submodules inside the packages. So we can just import certain functions or certain pieces of code that we need inside a package to only do what we actually want it to do. So another one that we're going to be using a lot is called MPL Soccer to do a lot of our visualization when it comes to our football, soccer visualizations. So if we want to just import the pitch module, which will plot a pitch for us, we say from MPL Soccer, import pitch, right there, pitch with a capital P. So this imports just the pitch module from MPL Soccer. And so that way we're not importing the entire MPL Soccer library. Honestly, this isn't necessary to do, but it is actually pretty important when you're trying to manage memory optimization, or you just don't really need to import everything. You really only, if you're only using the pitch, you only need to import the pitch module. And then if we wanted to import multiple things, we could say from MPL Soccer, import pitch, comma, vertical pitch, like this, vertical pitch, like that. Or if we wanted to import everything for some reason, we could say from MPL Soccer, import all with the asterisk. So that is actually a little bit different than saying just import MPL Soccer, because if we say import MPL Soccer like this, then we have to say MPL Soccer dot pitch every time we want to call the pitch kind of sub module, right? But if we run import all, then we actually only need to just say pitch. Okay, we're not going to have to say MPL Soccer dot pitch. So that's kind of the basic Python syntax that we're going to be using in the course, and as well using when we're learning Python. So that's it for this video. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section.